Hello, I'm Patrick Pallas with the National Conference of Bar Presidents, and today we're checking in with the immediate past president of the Idaho State Bar, Mike Oates, and the current president of the Idaho State Bar, Dave Carrick. Gentlemen, thank you for taking a few minutes to join me today. I'm glad you could be here. I wanted to check in with you because with this whole coronavirus COVID-19 world we're in, bar leaders across the country are taking steps to help their bar and to help those who rely on their leadership. And I want to take a few minutes to share the kind of things that you're doing in Idaho that's working and the steps you're taking to help your members. But before I launch into that, let me just ask each of you this. How are you doing?
So far, so good. I have some seasonal allergies, so I keep having a little hypochondria, but no, I'm fine.
Yeah, likewise, doing well. Just a little bit bored, but otherwise good. Thanks.
I see that, Mike, you're working from home, and David, are you still coming to the office, but the only one there?
Yeah, I'm here at the office with my two assistants, and it's like working from home because this is our second home, and we locked the waiting room, and we're not having people come in here anymore. We've been delivering essential services on a drive-through takeout basis. So people come down the alley, we open the back door and witness wills through the windshield, or have them sign a deed, notarize it, and close their transaction that way. Earlier in the week, I had a trust that sold a farm, and I had to bank a $1.3 million check in my trust account through the drive-through, which is different because normally on the larger checks, I take them in the lobby, but there was no problem. They banked it. Now I'm trying to figure out today how to get it divvied out. It's in 1/5, 1/10, and 1/45 shares. So there's about 9 people that'll be getting checks.
It's a new world out there, and I applaud your ingenuity on continuing to practice law now on a drive-through basis, unlike we never have before. Let me ask you this, as both the current president and immediate past president of the Idaho Bar, what steps are you guys taking to help all of your members in your organization that you think is important and that's working?
Well, it's so early. This thing has just hit us, and we're all reeling. I'm going to be the first bar president in the state of Idaho who's had a virtual Board of Commissioners meeting, which we have not yet had our next meeting since this happened. We've got an order from the Supreme Court. A couple of orders came out, but essentially the courthouses are closed. They're still trying to figure out how to take care of things. I get notices every day from the court canceling all of my hearings. I've requested telephonic hearings, but apparently they're not in a position yet to figure that out. So I've got a very busy transactional practice. So we're just carrying on with that like I've described.
So what are you taking from the things that you were learning as, trying to run your own practice? How does that translate to the kind of things you're doing to help your bar?
Well, we really haven't had a chance to get out there and do anything yet. I would think the first thing, for instance, this is one of my first Zoom video chats or conferences, and so I would think we could provide some CLE webinars where members of the bar could be taught how to use some of these devices. Earlier today, I was on something called Microsoft Team.
Right.
Yeah, I never had it before. I'd done Skype and Google Hangouts, but it's going to be like everything else. How does your client communicate? And you figure out how that is. And so for the bar, I think a good program would be a CLE on video conferencing. I'm also a mediator. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I had 3 people on the line, and lasted about 45 minutes until they exploded and started yelling at each other. And I wasn't able to take people in separate rooms, so I need to learn how to caucus.
Well, Dave, the
in
good
order to
news is
mediate.
that there's a lot of bars who are down the road on this, and there's a ton of seminars that are coming out. I just finished talking to the president of the Alabama State Bar. One of the things she's done is she started making 2 webinars every week using Facebook Live, and she begins the webinar, and it gets pushed out to everybody on the Alabama State Bar Facebook site. And
Wow.
she spends a half an hour with an expert on a particular topic, and they're talking about the SBA loan forgiveness program. They've talked about wellness, and they're doing a number of things. And I think as you reach out to other bar leaders and you start to see the other videos like this that are out there, you'll see what happens for those people who are really on the front end of the curve, like bars like Connecticut and Rhode Island and New York and Washington, who are taking steps. Let me ask you.
Well, and just let me jump in.
Please, Mike, go ahead.
And we are learning, and I think teaching each other how to do it. I'm a trial judge, and we've been doing some hearings on criminal cases, and we're figuring out a way that we can have 8 people on it, but mute 6 of them if the attorney needs to talk to his client privately without anybody else being involved, and working through the mechanics of following a cross-examination of a witness. We can let everybody else mute out so that the attorney and the client can discuss if there's any further questions. And so sharing how we're doing that's going to be important, I think, with the bar.
Now, you guys have taken steps to focus on lawyer wellness in this world of COVID-19. And tell me a little bit about your lawyers.
Mike, you want to take that one, or?
Yeah, we've had a pretty active program. Our instinct as lawyers is to be lone wolves and do this ourselves. And this may be a particularly important time for you if you feel a depression coming on or something to take advantage of these services. Here's the phone number, here's the confidential email line. And so the bar sent a couple of those out in the last couple of days, which I think.
And I saw your link to your law assistance program site, and I'm happy to attach it to this video so people can see what it is you guys are doing. Because I think it's really a nice service that you're giving to your to the members of your bar.
Did I send that to you yesterday or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have it already. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
And then the other thing, I think, trying to communicate with the Supreme Court. I know Bar Council and the Supreme Court and some of the trial judges were in communication yesterday. A big issue here is evictions and whether or not people who are out of work are going to get evicted and I'm not going to take credit for it with the bar, but after conversation, court clarified that no eviction proceedings will be going through the court system except those that involve possible drug abuse situations, so that it was in the paper today, got pretty wide publicity, and people can rest a little bit easier that somebody can file an eviction, but it isn't going to be heard by a judge in the near future.
So this video will be seen by other bar presidents across the country, and maybe some people that have already dealt with some of the things that you're just starting to see now in Idaho. I'm wondering if you could call out maybe the top 1 or 2 issues that you're most concerned about, and invite other bar leaders to share perhaps their solutions. I know, Mike, as we talked a little bit, one of your biggest concerns was about the bar, the bar exam, but there may be others. Let me just hear from you too, what you're most worried about.
Well, yeah, we've got the bar exam, grading the bar exam. We had to cancel our admissions ceremony that was scheduled for May 1st. How are we going to swear in new lawyers? Probably we're going to have trouble with the July bar, and I don't know, the thing could last for a long time. Initially, I thought, well, this will be a few weeks. Then I realized it's going to be about 3 months. Then I realized that was very optimistic, and if we're through this thing in 6 months, I'd be very surprised. But it will accelerate our move into the future. We're going to have to figure out a lot of things. So I'm trying to look at the good side of it, but as far as my presidency, all the little things where I got to stand up in front and speak to the crowd, and yeah, it's all been canceled. So it's an interesting turn of events. The evictions concern me because I represent landlords, and landlords make their payment to the bank out of the rent money. So I was a little concerned when I saw the article in the paper today where the judge in Boise announced that, well, we're just not going to have any evictions. So that's sort of like an invitation for everybody to just quit paying their rent.
Yeah, there's a number of these issues that have arisen that no one saw coming until we got here that affect practitioners. Whether you're in criminal law or doing civil defense or plaintiff's work or landlord tenant, there's issues that rise everywhere. Let me ask you this: if other bar leaders or other people want to reach out to you and see what's happening in Idaho, or share what's working for them, or open up dialogues, where should they reach out to contact each of you?
My contact information is, I've got a website right now we're reconstructing. It's just kerrick.com, KERRICK.com. My email is kerricklaw@yahoo.com. And my phone is 208-459-4574. Love to hear from people.
Perfect.
Yeah, and my email is moths, like moths, at adaweb, ADAWEB.net. That's my office address. By the way, we're working in shifts at the courthouse, so we send in a couple people a day, and then we can do things by remote. But then anybody who needed to call me, my office phone is, which I can access, is 208-287-7636. And then we can, if we don't know, but the bar staff, bar council, or the executive director would be better positioned, Dave or I can certainly route them through to those people too.
Well, I thank both of you for taking a few minutes to chat with me today and share your experience of what's happening as bar leaders in Idaho. I encourage you to take a look at what's happening at the National Council of Bar Presidents website. We are collecting a catalog of other videos from other presidents, links to programs, task forces, blogs. There's a lot of information being collected. I encourage you both to take a look. And I hope that other leaders reach out to you and you guys all start to share so we can go through this experience from creating less wheels from the ground up, right? Anyway, thank you both.
Well,
thank you,
thank
Mike
you.
Oates and to Dave
Thank
Garrett.
you for all your time doing this. This is above and beyond doing this. So thank you.
That's a great idea. Thank you,
gentlemen.
Patrick.
Be safe out there. I look forward to talking to you again sometime in the future.
All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Patrick.
Thanks.
Thank you.